Another Ravens formation that was utilized in 2021 that I think had a limited shelf life, or at least had diminishing returns as the season went on, is one that I call Jokers. Jokers, to me, and the system that I learned, I'm not talking about anything here with the receivers or tight ends. Jokers is a quarterback, in this case Lamar, with one running back to his right and one running back to his left. Typically, they would be more evenly dispersed. So, like you see, Tyson Williams' feet are on the 20, and Ricard is a little further forward. We know they don't offer the same threat anyway, and the defense knows that as well. Everyone knows where the football is going to be run. If a running back gets it, it's going to be run opposite of where Tyson Williams lines up. It's kind of like a wing T type of formation from the backfield standpoint of if the running back lines up on the left, his run plays are going to be to the right. It's always difficult to figure out same side runs, and people do these counter plays where the back steps in front and then comes back over here. The Ravens didn't do enough of that when they did get into shotgun formations, or in this case, I'm going to call it Joker. So I'm going to show you guys the data first, and the plays are going to go in chronological order, I believe, in terms of the season. So you're going to get the initial, and I do have them sorted by run pass, as you can tell. The first 9 plays here are run, the next 6 are pass. And so there is a little bit of balance to this formation in terms of run pass. So that's not the point that I'm making with this one. The point that I'm going to try to make with this one is the yards per play. Now you do have 2 big plays here. The second play, the one that I have kind of highlighted in blue there, that is, I believe, Devonta Freeman's 31-yard run against Kansas City in week 2. And what I'm going to show you and what I'm going to try to explain, hopefully I do a good job of it, is how teams recognized as the season went on that this formation had only offered a limited amount of plays, and Patrick Ricard being on the field is good for us in a lot of cases, but in this case it was not, because teams knew he's not going to get the football on a run play. They knew that, for example, the play that I had just drawn up a moment ago, they know that we're not going to run the football with Ricard to this side here. Now, so they do have the Sam linebacker set over here opposite Ricard, in this case KJ Wright, and the strong safety set to Ricard's side, probably because the tight end is over here, Tomlinson. But in any case, it's a formation that offers limited threats in terms of where we're going to run the football. Now, we could, have someone cross face and then Lamar keep the football, but we typically do not do that out of Jokers. Now, you do have some option plays in here, but not a whole lot of them. If you look at the play concepts under run there, you see power, QB power read, QB counter read, but you don't see the typical option plays. It's power read. So when we do power read, let me get back to the, we'll just run it. We'll run it and we'll let you guys see some plays because I've talked long enough. So against the Raiders early in the season, you got a run play to Tyson Williams. Looks like Lamar is reading something. Will get you the end zone angle. Lamar is reading Yannick Ngakoue here, and Williams is going to cross face. Ricard is actually stepping opposite, and for some reason doesn't touch Ngakoue. So Ricard is stepping opposite here. Williams is crossing face, so you got this little X action here. And I think Ricard should block Ngakoue. I think he should chip Ngakoue on the way by. It looks like Ricard is reading this as a keep for Lamar. So Ricard, if Ngakoue, I'm going to draw this more violently than he did step down. If Ngakoue runs violently down the line of scrimmage, Ricard's going to read that as a keep for Lamar and go around the edge to help block for Lamar. It looks like to me Lamar reads this as a give, which it works out fine, and Ricard reads this as a keep. Ngakoue chases it down from behind. What I was told, if the read man makes a tackle on the dive back, then you should have kept it. But, that's neither here nor there. All right, week 2, Jokers, similar formation. The tight end's on the opposite side, but that doesn't really matter, to be honest with you. It matters where Ricard is and where the tailback is. So we're going to run power read to this side, and the Chiefs know what's coming. You'll be able to tell from the end zone angle. They bring a stunt off that side, and it just doesn't work out for them. The safety runs himself out of the play. I think it's Sorensen, and I think a linebacker comes down violently, 56, and runs himself. So they have one guy run tight and one guy run wide, and then there ends up being a huge seam between those two players, a huge gap when Ricard takes the safety and kicks him out. And you see Freeman was almost gone on this one, right? We all remember it. I think it was the first time he touched the football for the Ravens. End zone angle, you'll see that what I mean when I say the Chiefs knew what was coming. So you got Chris Jones here in a tight 5. You got an inside linebacker or Sam, whatever you want to call him. He's going to go tight. They're going to bring the safety down late because they know the play that's coming. As soon as we go jokers, look, he pushes him down. He's telling him, you go ahead and slam inside, and I'll take Lamar. So this is forcing Lamar to give the football. That's what this is right here. This is his read. That's forcing Lamar to give the football. It's because they can only do that because they know what's coming. This linebacker should be the scrape guy. Scrape exchange is what it is. So 56 is stepping down to force the give. This guy should be scraping inside the gap to get Freeman, while this is the, quote, force player that Ricard is kicking out. This guy went too tight, and it was almost a house call. As the season went on, you saw people run different fronts depending on their defense, what their base defense was. Broncos base 3-4 team. So here you see in their 3-4 alignment. And Ricard is on the opposite side now. So the run threat is going to be out here. I think this is a power concept that Freeman bounces outside and scores on. So productive play for us, early on. He bounces it. Actually, that's power read. That's not just power. That's power read. Bounces it and jumps into the end zone and scores. End zone angle, you'll see. Looks like to me this guy is unblocked. I mean, should it be a give? Should it be a keep? I don't know. That's up to you. That's not the point of the video. Early in the season, you got 11-yard gain here. You got a 31-yard gain by Freeman against the Chiefs. Later on in the game, against the Broncos, you got Ricard over here. So my contention is that the run is going to be to this side and only this side, unless Lamar keeps the football, because we're not going to run the ball with Ricard to the opposite side. Power read, same thing pretty much, and Von Miller plays it well, gets a tackle for loss. I think it's Von Miller up there. We'll see from the end zone angle. Yeah, so read man right here. He's going to cross face, and if Lamar keeps it, you got the pulling guard that Lamar would ride, keep it, and then run off tackle. But that's not how it works out. He gives it this time. Miller's just settling and making Lamar decide and then reacting. So he's playing, some people call it half man, half of the dive, half of the keep by the quarterback. All right, week 6 against the Chargers. We got motion by Duvernay. Ricard up here, back right here, so the run is going to this side. Now, obviously, we ran the ball quite well against the Chargers, so I think you got a 5 or 6 yard gain here on power. Bell bounced it. You get a good view of it from the end zone angle. I'm going to try to move through this a little bit so you guys can see the progression of how people were able to defend it and identify it. And I think my data stops with the Vikings game, maybe the Bengals game, because I'm still working on, myself and other people, I should say, are still working on labeling the data. So this is 22 personnel now, which we've had, I think, one time earlier. So we've got 2 tight ends up here, so you could call it a wing if you wish, and still got the Joker's backfield with Ricard on this side. So obviously the run threat is to this side. And again, we get a productive play out of it. We get a 5-yard gain. Yards per play goes down, though, on this as the season goes on, and that kind of aligns with my contention in a couple of other videos from the last few days that as we are formation-based, teams are going to get better at defending it just naturally because they have this data here. They have it, except they had it months ago, and they're able to identify the threat. So, for example, the Bengals, you should notice you've got an 8-man front. Now, look, the Chargers gave us an 8-man front, too. They gave us a 5-2, and then they walked up a strong safety. Okay, so they're giving us an 8-man front. The Bengals are doing it a different way, and this is what makes them unique. They walk up an inside linebacker. This is number 57. Let me get the end zone angle so you can see. So 57 walks up. He's an inside linebacker. He walks up to play edge. A nickel defender or strong safety 24 walks up to play inside linebacker in the box along with Wilson 55. And you can see what they've got here. They've got a 4 down lineman. And then you've got 2 edge defenders, Hendrickson, and I think that's Pratt. This is just an old school 6'2". Old school 6'2". That everybody used to play against the wing T years ago. And you've got, obviously man, and And, I don't even know if they're guarding Tomlinson. They probably aren't because he never gets the ball thrown to him anyway. It's QB power read, like you can see up here, and it's to the left, which is where Ricard is. So not only do you have tendencies as far as where we're running the football, but people, the Bengals specifically, were able to take things away. Basically, say, hey, look, you want to run the ball over here. We're going to protect this Mike linebacker with a 2 technique and a 5, and then a wide 9. I mean, you can't get to the inside linebackers. You can't. And you can see Ricard gets to him, but nobody gets to the backside guy. I don't think we blocked some of this stuff great against the Bengals either. All right, so 2nd and 10. You can see how smart the Bengals are. 2nd and 10 right up here. So they're not going to be in their 6-2 because you could have a pass play and we go power read again. You can see right there. But they weren't in their 6-2 because they're playing down and distance. They're not just playing formation here. They're playing down and distance. So we got Joker's twins, and I don't think we blocked this right. Le'Veon Bell runs. This is the tackle for loss by Logan Wilson. I don't think we blocked this right here and here at all. I think there's some kind of mix-up. And those things happen more often than you think this season. You can see Wilson runs right by while Oliver takes the frontside inside backer, and Ricard I assume Ricard is running for this guy as well. So someone is mixed up there, either Ricard or Oliver. Am I saying it was a great play call? No, it was not. Everybody's complained about this one for a long time, and I agree. But it speaks to how limited this formation was in terms of what we did out of it. Now, you did have some pass plays out of it. We tried this reverse out of Jokers to Duvernay that Jesse Bates reads well and runs down, and I think this edge defender helps out as well. So you got 2 guys. Duvernay can't outrun them. I think he gets I think he loses like a yard. Just limited in what we did out of this formation. So to me, this is the 3rd time that the Ravens have called this formation in the first 11 plays, as you can see right here. To me, this is the Ravens coaches identifying, okay, the Bengals are hedging their bets on run to Ricard's side or opposite where the tailback lined up. So now we don't have an answer to run over here with Ricard or even a same side run call, like a counter step and then back over here. We do that out of the pistol, but not out of the typical shotgun or Jokers. So our answer was run a reverse back to that other side opposite Ricard, and that didn't work either. Bengals just prepared for everything. Going back to the Broncos, this is pass plays now. And this is, I believe, we're later in the game, though we're not. Still play number 22. And you get an under route by the X, which in this case is Watkins, and he replaces the inside linebackers. And against off coverage by Surtain, play action on 1st and 10. So great, 1st and 10. Our tendency is to run, and we ran a pass play. Wonderful. We got 9 yards. You got to go against your tendencies sometimes. I think the Ravens coaches did try to go against tendencies at times. Big gain to Marquise Brown. I mean, from the end zone angle, you're going to see how amazing this is by Lamar. I think you got Jokers, but look how wide we are. So there may be something to be said there in terms of the width. But in any case, Andrews, I think, runs an out. Brown runs this dig route. Watch Lamar. He's going to throw it to Andrews, and he sees this corner sit and not go with Marquise Brown. So he holds the football, and you get a better view of it from the end zone angle. And then he's able to stick this thing in there to Marquise Brown in front of the other side DB. So you got another DB over here. It's sitting there guarding nothing, and Lamar's aware of it. Gets the ball in there right before that DB can make a play. End zone angle, you'll see how cool of a job it is by Lamar. Watch Lamar this time, man. This is awesome. Really wide alignment by Freeman, if you ask me. He's going to try to hit Andrews and hold on to the football. I don't even know how he did that. That looks like he's got stickum on his hands. If you don't know what stickum is, you're just young. I don't know how he did that. Great throw, great play. Chargers, we've got this slot alignment in Jokers. I think we're going to be running out of plays here. Chargers are walking an inside linebacker up I think they're thinking RPO, and it's not. I think it's a flood call. Yeah, I call this flood. You can call it whatever you want in your system. You got a clear out route there. You got here, here, and then I think you got a trailing tight end here or something like that. Maybe I didn't draw enough depth there. Yeah, you can see the levels, options. Lamar, I think, almost takes a sack. I don't know who's supposed to throw the ball to necessarily, to be honest with you here. They're trying to high-low this guy. But this corner does a good job, and Lamar sees it. He recognizes that this is just a clear-out route. He's going to let the safety take that. So he's going to take Andrews here, and then this linebacker appears to be driving to the flats. So the Chargers defended it well, if you ask me. I mean, could Lamar throw the football here to Freeman immediately? Yes. But I don't think Freeman is early in the read. He's late. Nobody's open. Should he have thrown the football to Freeman earlier? Obviously he should have, but not as early as I had initially drawn it up. I call this smash space. I don't really like the label. There's got to be a better label than this. It's completion. It's essentially just snag, really. It's mislabeled. It's snag here by Bateman. And I don't know. Maybe it should be labeled snag flood. Because you've got this, which is just a bait route. There's nothing about that. They're not going to throw the ball to Tomlinson. That out in the flats, and then this snag route by Bateman. Putting Bateman in this formation changes it, man. Because then you have more options. I like putting Bateman. I don't like doing this formation out of 22. If you come out and you do this formation in 22, then Andrews has got to be one of these guys, and Brown or Bateman has got to be one of these guys. I don't know. With Greg Roman coming back, I mean, are you going to see some of these same formations? Yeah, probably are. Probably are. They got to be more versatile in the formations and give defenses more to worry or fear. One thing I noticed here in this formation too is no motion. I did not see motion out of this formation at all. Of course, you got two guys in the backfield, so it's kind of like, what the hell kind of motion can you do? A sneakier throw here by Lamar than I thought on first glance. Play action to Freeman. You can see there's the clear out route by Tomlinson. There's nothing about that that's going to be thrown to. That's just designed to carry this inside linebacker with some depth and then throw it underneath to Bateman. Out route against Cincinnati. They were looking for a pick. Their sideline got really excited. 2nd and 8. Cincinnati's defending the down and distance and not just the formation. So if it was 1st and 10 and we were in jokers, they're probably looking at their 6-2 look. So what I mean by that is walking an edge defender up. In this case, it'd be a 5-2 look, and then walking this guy in the box like they did before. They stay in their base 4-3, 4 down linemen, even though Hendrickson's standing up, and 3 inside backers, and they defend the pass. So they're defending the down and distance and not just the formation. That's what makes them a really great defense. Really versatile, smart. You get a good look of it here. Here's 57. Remember that first one I showed you? He walked up. 24 walked in the box. Well, let me know what you guys think. I'm just going through formations as I see them and noticing things. The yards per play early in the year, obviously pretty good. You had the 31-yard run against the Chiefs by Freeman. You did have the 32-yard reception by Brown against the Broncos. You had the 11-yard touchdown run by Murray against the Chargers. Other than that, as the season developed, you can see this is week 7. Yards per play is down. And maybe I'm being too simplistic in the way that I explain that. If you think so, then tell me in the comments section, because I'm talking live. This is back to the first play. I'm talking live here, so it's not like I'm recording the audio and then editing the audio. This is just recorded live. So let me know what you guys think of my contention, my continued contention, that one of the elements and reasons why the offense became less effective as the season went on is because some of these formations were predictable. And then you had teams like the Bengals and a few others that not only defend the formation, but they defend the formation and then they defend the down and distance as well, which is what an NFL defense should do, right? That is the data right there sorted by type. So again, this 32-yard pass, which is down the bottom of the data set, this 32-yard pass was against the Broncos. Everything thereafter, 0, 8, 0, 0, would have been against the Chargers and or the Bengals. I'm still working on the rest of the season, so if you're like, hey man, this is not data from the entire year, yeah, you're right. You're right. It's not easy to put this information in there. Again, if there's anybody that wants to help or learn how to do it, I would love to have some help. And I do have some help. 3 or 4 guys in Discord, great help. They've been doing some as well, because this is available to the people that join my Patreon. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of the video, the Jokers formation, if you'd like to see it put back on the shelf. I know a lot of you would like to see Greg Roman put on the shelf, but in any case, it looks like he's going to stick around. This formation's got to get a lot more multiple and versatile in order for the data, the yards per play, to not go downhill as the season progresses, as I contend that the data shows that it did.